Do roll call, please.
Trustee King,
Here?
Trustee Hale,
Here.
Mayor Long.
Here. Welcome, Chris.
You doing all right?
We need to read all that. Yes, everybody knows what it says. Anybody got anything they want to say?
You might just say that
We got 3 minutes.
3 minutes to discuss an item on the agenda.
To discuss that. Anybody got anything they want to say? Okay. Consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
So,
We got a motion and we got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Business agenda. Discussion, decision to discussion, consideration of possible action of October 10th, 2023 meeting. Proposal to schedule a special meeting for October 23rd to discuss candidate for county clerk.
I have this to be put on there because of the release of the old ordinance, or repealing the old ordinance in the last, so then we're into discussion. Somebody would pay any candidates or anything, give everybody a heads up, so that.
What day, what was there?
I don't know what day is it?
It's on Monday.
Monday?
Monday.
I don't have any conflicts this time. I don't have any conflicts this time.
What that is.
Have you come up with any names or talked to anybody that might be considered?
I've been talking to some other towns, and I know this range, one range of 175, 200, 200 an hour. I don't know if you
I've-
the same information.
It's close, pretty close.
23rd this month.
Yeah. So. My call around to the neighboring towns.
I mean, we're going to discuss candidates for town attorney, there's no problem with scheduling this.
That's what I thought would give, gives us 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks to try to round up something.
You good?
How about you?
I'm good.
Should
That's
pick
fine.
a date.
Well, I make a motion that we have our special meeting on the 23rd of October to discuss candidates, maybe find somebody in a couple of weeks.
I got a motion made, yeah.
You're kind of ahead of that, are you good? Does it work
All
for you?
right, that's fine.
Okay, I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I just, it's been the last couple, 3 weeks.
What's going on?
Discussion possible appointment of task force to identify and educate the board to recommend. Yeah.
I asked this to be put on there because it's time that we start working on gathering all this information. And I've talked to Jason, who's familiar with the DEQ regs and can read that. And I talked with Jeannie Dobson, who is willing to make phone calls and contact and do a list. So,
You had asked at the last meeting, why it wasn't on the agenda, and one thing that we discussed in the last meeting, the last official meeting, was that you're gonna put together some kind of list of,
that didn't happen. No, I've been I'm sorry.
No, I understand, I understand, I answered
But-
your question about.
Yeah,
last
but the
special
point
meeting.
being, if I'd had time, I would have. So that's why we need some help. And anyway,
Consider that Jason knows our lagoon more than anybody in this town right now. Better than anybody.
Okay, this is about possible,
grants.
grants
Yeah.
across the board, we've got a bunch of them, I think we
Yeah.
did.
Well, certainly if
Well, let's-
there's a
let's-
bunch of them.
We've got this, thank you. But we're going to talk about doing a grant.
Well, I'd like to
Not
focus,
committee, but.
well, I'd like to focus on the lagoons first. I don't want to divert our attention to anything else.
Yeah.
According to, when Callie was here
Mhm.
and someone else, that come spring, the grant money's gone.
Yeah.
So we literally need to have a grant prepared, and I personally would like to see us, but I know they're out there, I'm talking with Matt Coe, a planning grant first,
No, we'll talk about
but
that.
we
quite a
need
bit.
to focus on what funds are available, because I think we have to have a planning grant.
Well, you don't have to, but a planning grant is the preferred way to go, just because we can see what we actually need, so when we go after the real grant, a planning grant will help us
I would
in
think they
applying
help us
for the.
secure
Because they have the engineering,
Yeah.
guidelines and everything else, yeah.
because, numbers like $1 million are being floated around to the people I talk to. And, yes, so there may be a combination of funding required.
Okay. Well,
And
that's got a lot
low-interest
of.
loans, like, when Callie was here, and I've saved all that information and all those contacts that I, turn over to both of them.
And that is the purpose of this group.
That is the purpose, is
You get the information.
get the information together, then we can, vote to apply for that type of grant. And, because like I said, through the planning grant, I think we'll identify the revenue sources. Or that's what the revenue, the planning grant should identify revenue, first of all, they should create a plan and identify revenue sources.
The way it was explained to us, and the way we understood it was so that we could identify the actual problems needed. What the,
Well, that's what I've also asked Lindy, and I didn't get back in here because I got tied up. I'm going through I'm gonna go through all the DEQ reports that we can find, because we have been cited before. That we know that DEQ wants us to expand the irrigation field. That was, we've managed to avoid that disaster about 3 years ago, when we got our existing plans grandfathered. We jumped through hoops so that we didn't have to spend a lot of money 3 years ago and expand it, so. But that's something. Oh, and by the way, guys, I'm going back to work for the next 4 months, so we need, the committee needs this task force to start gathering information so that we can be prepared. And, there's even federal, according to Cali, there's even a federal group under either he's redheaded, what's our senator?
Langford.
Langford, I was gonna say
well,
Langford.
no, Langford's also is, the new guy that took over for Jim, you know?
Oh, that's the Oklahoma City guy, that's the plumber.
Oh, yeah.
Now Langford's out at Tulsa. His
Yeah.
office,
This is on Tulsa, yeah.
his office even has staff set aside to help rural communities.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of phone calls we need to be making and get busy.
Well, we'll,
Yes, and I spoke with Jeannie, she's
yeah,
interested. Yeah, she's willing to help.
Well, but we'll find quite a few people that would like to help on that, but again, that's why.
well, there's too many people in there, you're gonna have people that heads that want to be buttoned.
Well, not
Well,
just
this is
information.
Just if we need information.
This is what we kind of discussed, having a set of guidelines for what we're looking for, what we want out of it.
Right now, I think the guidelines should be focusing on our lagoon, because we've got lots of repairs and things that we've got on hold.
I think we're looking for guidelines more along the lines of, we don't file for anything that hasn't come to the board, let the board go through, so that
Oh,
we
that's a
can make sure.
given. These people have no authority.
Yeah, it's, I just like to see it right.
They got around.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, we're not, no. I make a motion right now, because this, we're gonna delay another month if we put it in writing. I make a motion for Jeannie and Jason Hale to be placed on the task force to identify information regarding the lagoon, gather the information for the lagoons to repair them. If you want a list, it's gonna be another month, and we've lost another month, and we do this all the time. We've got to move now.
Get moving on stuff.
And we're in control, all they're doing is gathering information. So I've made the motion.
We got the motion made, a second. I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, Dusty, we cannot wait another month. That puts us into the holidays.
Sure does.
You wanna put a vote on that, one way or another?
No, I was just saying at this point, I'm not really, where we're at here, just to stay on that one.
Okay. Just so she knows what's going on.
You're
All
right,
right.
thank you.
Discussing possible action on giving work cell phones for town clerk. I'm not too off on it right now. I've been thinking a lot about that. And right now, it's just, to me, it's just, we just need to wait on it, to me, and see what happens. 'Cause we got some issues we need to take care of first.
When I make a motion, we table this, I would table it for another couple of months. Bring it back up in
January.
January, yes, please.
And see if we ever-
Yeah, guys, I see the reason for it, so it's just, it's what it, you don't wanna do that, but it's not mine.
I mean, we've operated without them for several years. Josh and Argyle never had any.
I just respectfully disagree with it.
And that's good.
I second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No.
Okay. There's no good thing, well, that's on the phone, so that'd be. Decision possible action on hiring someone to clean town hall.
I haven't read anything on that. No, have you signed that? Anyone? You're not around.
No, we didn't.
I don't think we really did.
We didn't. They're just gonna say, how many of us came across anything, and I honestly, it's, like you said, it's been, last several weeks, it's been full of go.
Well, like I said, I didn't know Carrie would clean, I talked about cleaning my house the other day, so. She says that I don't know, she might talk to her, see if she might want to.
I had a question on that. Is there any reason we couldn't hire just an individual to clean? You know, we hire other outside work, trees or things like that, it has to be. a
Well, an
company.
individual is not required to have workers' comp, it's only when they have employees.
If it's throughout.
When we got employees.
Okay, so they need to have insurance or anything like that?
Not when we.
I'm just asking, I don't know.
If it's by ourselves,
Well,
There's still good liability in case they break something, whatever.
well, then
I would say,
okay.
yeah, if you're gonna hire in that capacity.
Well, then I guess we'll get this, like I said,
I mean, you might want to look into that.
well, I think we should call OMAG and ask them,
Okay, I can do that.
because I know we're covered with, our property is got property.
yeah, if that insurance on property.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention anything that's in the office that's protected or whatever.
Well, there's
But you-
certain
I
areas
just
that they
didn't
can't
know.
go
That's a good
into.
question.
Right.
I do check with OMAG, if you have hired an individual to do, what, monthly cleaning, I think is what we
Yeah, I
discussed.
think that's what.
So,
Oh.
make
Is
a
there
motion
any-
to table this while we.
Yes, please.
Ain't got a motion.
I second it.
In a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, discussion possible action on purchase of video recorder to be able to stream town hall meetings.
I did actually, I didn't do that, Jason.
Can I make a comment real quick?
Is it?
2 seconds.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be streaming your town hall meetings. The verbiage is incorrect. You'll be recording them and posting them at a later date. The stream implies that it's a live feed.
Well, it could be either way. The current verbiage is suggesting that, and I also
Well, I
understand
think
what it
that's a
is.
little more expensive to stream.
It's more complicated than everything else. I mean, there's no reason you can't just record a video and put it online. It's,
Well, for that matter, and this might need some further discussion, it's just as easy to do a Facebook account and actually stream live with a webcam as it is to video it. And actually, it's probably a little easier to do that than it would be to video it, upload it.
What do you stream with? I mean, what do you take a picture with?
Just a regular camera.
Oh, I know he's streaming right now.
Yeah.
That's like,
The old school webcams that sit on top of the.
that's
on the
terrible
computer.
quality.
They're better. They've got 4K out of them.
you get, you're keeping a record with the camera, you're keeping all the files in the city hall. There's no reason to use a cell phone and Facebook to stream live meetings. I mean, there's already somebody doing it. This is a recording for the general public. If anybody wants a copy or anything like that, it should be available.
Well, and that's why I said this might be something that requires additional conversation, because that's Guthrie streams theirs live. I know several other towns, commissioners do.
I know. Well, the thing is, we are being recorded, and we never see the comments. We never have an opportunity to respond if there's any negative or even positive to say thank you.
My personal opinion on that is if they want to say something on it, they can come to the next meeting. This meeting
No.
right here is for us.
Well, but I would like to have a permanent record of our meetings.
I don't have a problem with that.
And streaming doesn't do that for you. It's like, I guess instead of
Well,
you
it'd be the
saying.
same.
You can record it.
You would be taking the same number of steps to record it after you've streamed it that you would be recorded in the first place and just post it
Oh, I
on the
know.
webpage. It's really either or, neither or. It doesn't, none of them are particularly difficult, but
Well, what's the most economical way to get a quality?
that the town
Right.
maintains control of is recording it, posting it on the website.
Well, I would like for it to be on the website. That's my personal opinion. That website should be that's, I think, what Guthrie uses on their website,
It is.
not on a Facebook page.
It's, well, no, it's actually streamed live, and then they'll take that and post it to the website for anybody else that wants to come up and see it later. It's a
Well-
YouTube channel.
Well, we're not Guthrie and we don't want $1,000 camera.
Yeah, no, I'm not suggesting that by any means. That is a production quality camera. But we can get, there are 4K
well-
cameras out there that are.
Well, anyway, just FYI, this one right here is you've got it in your handout. You take it, we can table it for next meeting. But, this is an inexpensive way to get a quality film, and it's posted afterwards. Anybody could, have time to see it if it's interested. I really wish they would be in attendance personally, rather than staying at home. That to me, it's,
I appreciate being able, somebody who cannot attend, being able to see what's going
yeah,
on.
and they can see that.
Pros and comments and stuff,
The
they'll
next day
reach
they
out
can
to us
see.
later, they
Yeah,
can.
yeah, well, anyway, I would like to see us control the videos that are going out, and I'd like for them to be maintained and kept on our website, in case anybody wants to go back to a previous meeting. We have records, just like our recordings right now. However, the audios are, since they're not being posted, really, we're relying, the video becomes a more permanent record, for anybody to access anytime they want.
An additional record is.
An additional record, yeah,
That's what I'm figuring out.
yeah. So anyway,
So we're gonna table it.
we'll table it.
Good motion.
I make a motion to table it.
Okay, I'll second the motion.
Got a motion, got that, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. But I do think it's important that we control the videos.
You read
and
all
have
about
them.
what's on there, right?
Well, this is open meeting world. So-
I know that. Okay, Fall Festival update report.
We had our fall festival on September 30th, had a pretty good turnout, at it. We brought in $1,300 that day, and then we, had $623 donated for our Firehouse Christmas, which is our next event coming up in December. So,
And how much did we spend on it?
I don't have that number, I thought I had it already here, I do not.
You had
We
some,
brought-
you had some left over from the.
Previous.
We did, yeah. So,
So,
we have a good chunk going into our next event, going into next year.
thank you.
On top of that, we also had several other groups that came in, such as our softball team and
Yes.
ag groups and all that, that were able to make an excess of $300. Plus they had, softball made 300, ag made
340.
340.
Yeah.
So they did very well.
It was a successful event.
Yeah.
And everybody seemed like they had a good time over there.
And our commissioner said that he had a wonderful time, and he enjoyed getting to talk to all of us, and really enjoyed it, said it was one of the best he's been to in a long time, so that
Well,
was.
he was impressed that it's self-funded
Mhm.
and that he was very impressed with that, so anything you can do to bring people together, be economical, so.
But next time, guys, I'm just gonna put this out there, I raised 140 of that $600+ going into Firehouse Christmas.
Cool.
All it took was one pie, just saying,
Just saying.
we can raise more money.
You're a brave man.
It's 300 of the pie.
We can smell you.
You were too early.
We can smell you coming afterwards.
Yes, yes, you could, it took a while to get out of there.
Well, I'm actually talking to good shape right now.
Yeah. I understand you have to leave, but you missed that one, missed out on some fun.
Yeah. Okay. Fire department, I don't see them here.
I don't have anything. I don't know. I thought he was supposed to be here.
He's in town.
Maybe he forgot. I don't know.
It's entirely
I know
possible.
they got called out earlier.
They've had a busy day.
They've been on a number of fires today.
Today?
Today, they've had 3 over Langston.
Yeah, they're running like fine.
Yeah, there's a number of fires that have taken off recently. So they have been going quite a bit. They've been doing quite a bit of medical calls as well, I know. I'm not gonna give his report, but they have been,
They've been active.
yeah.
They've been running,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, financial report.
The balances in our three main accounts as of the end of September was in general fund, we have, $46,742.24. In CCWA, we have $68,150.71. And the fire department has $49,777.66. There is a municipal clerks and treasurers training on November 9th, that I'd like to go to. There's no cost to attend the class, the office is closed that day. And then there's also attached the monthly activity report and then the, budget to actuals comparison for through the end of September. So that's all there for you guys to look at. So,
There's, yeah. Thank you. I think they're back in here.
Yeah, just,
Well, do we need to make a motion to close the office for Lindsay to go to the, I saw it here.
I don't know if I can do it, but I'll be happy to.
Municipal clerks and treasurers training November 9.
I think she needs
To
to.
cover her
I'll
travel
make the motion.
expenses. And to cover her travel expenses.
That's a one-day course, isn't it?
We'll cover the mileage.
No, well, I figured we'd do that anyway.
Keep out your wallet.
Okay.
No motion. We got a motion, second.
So we got that, I got it tomorrow.
I need a second.
A second, okay.
Roll in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Somebody else?
All right.
Okay. Anything else?
Not on that.
Okay.
If you have any questions when going through the budget afterwards, just let me know.
All right. Maintenance report?
I don't know of anything right off to report for maintenance.
I have a question.
Okay?
This assigner of the work orders,
Yes.
when are we gonna get our street signs put up?
On the to-do list. I will work on it. That is supposed to be a fall, winter time.
Okay, well,
timeframe, so
like I said,
right about now.
I still don't know where I am.
I've noticed, more,
Honestly,
when-
it's not gonna help you, just ask.
Well,
Kidding.
I will remind Wade of that when he gets back this week.
okay, where is he?
He's at the OMAC Sewer Expo. It was today.
Okay, yeah. Cemetery report?
I don't have anything to report on the cemetery.
I have a question. We have, on Village Cemetery, we're trying to get a guy that builds things for a living, to come and give us an estimate on our, pictures of him. They actually put on, and he's, got him hired to do a lot of fencing down south. They actually build their own H braces and everything, and I was wondering if you would like me to get an estimate. Because when I price those H braces, instead of, we normally buy the pipe, pay a welder, and yada, yada, yada. And by the time I priced everything out, it was only about $20 of labor. I said, how do you do this? And he says he has a manufacturing table in his barn where he presses them or stamps them or whatever he does. I don't know what he's talking about. But I was wondering if you would like for me, not chain link, but just 3 sides to get an estimate of them putting that fence in.
I don't have a problem with it. I'll go with it.
Okay.
She's trying to say that she doesn't have control over that, do that. so.
Well, I'm just saying.
Right
You know,
now,
for
hey,
$20, I mean, you know, $20 of labor is what, that's not even covering the gas. for
She's
the-
done all week, I'm trying to laugh when I can.
This is good, this is good, but anyway,
No,
because
that's fine, I'm good.
now he's gonna have to weld ours, because I already bought the freaking pipe, but. But out of the pastures, we're gonna use his pads. Probably save some money.
No,
Oh,
do we get,
No, but I just wanted to
okay.
make sure that you guys didn't think I was,
Okay.
That's options, there's nothing wrong with options.
Okay, it's option, yeah. Court clerk, code enforcement report.
So last month, I think 8 letters were sent out, properties to be cleaned up. Most of them got cleaned up. I think there's one that didn't, but it got returned, so I'm not sure how, vacant property, I don't know how we move forward on that. There's 2 other letters that need to go out, and something I'll
Who is signing these letters?
Wade as our code enforcer.
I know we used to look over
They're
the,
supposed to be, it's one of us usually sign them. That way they know it's from the council.
Okay, I didn't realize that was the.
I would've figured, I was signing them before too, and I figured that when we appointed Wade as the.
well, we've always had an order, and, you know, we made sure that the biggest eyesores in town were being covered, not just the number of letters going out, but the correct letters were going out. Either way, we always, he'd give me a call, I'd come down and I'd look over them.
If you have, an issue, one that you don't know where to go to, and we'll figure it out. for him. That's something which is, Miss Mountain State can do.
No, like I said, I do wish we had more contact with Wade.
And then I've had more contact with him, so it's, just not knowing is getting the best of me real fast. Especially when somebody comes up, ask me something, I don't know, I've got to find out. And I should know above and beyond before anybody should.
And as far as this, code enforcement class, at our last meeting, we decided this was too soon.
I thought it was just tabled to this one, that's why. I
No,
put it back on it.
it should be for the next, when is the next class available? There's another one coming up.
There's one in November.
I know,
Let's
this is too soon, because this is something you have to pay for, and cover expenses, and I wanna make sure that we've got a year to get done,
Correct, and then is that a year from when he was?
appointed. Or when he started functioning, actually, he didn't start functioning for several.
That was my question, because he was appointed, was voted on to be that in February, so I wasn't sure when the year.
Well, but he didn't start functioning until the last 2 months.
They were sending out letters or finding.
Well, how would we know?
They came to the board, they came to
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because
That's
we've not had
another-
one, we have had no ordinance violations written, we have not had court held. And we used to have at least 2 or 3 people in here every month. And that has not happened since we've appointed.
It didn't happen for about a year and a half before we appointed him either, though.
Because we didn't have anybody writing ordinance violations.
So, we're sending out letters and we're getting responses that we need, we're not technically down violations at that point.
Maybe we're not sending out enough, well, it doesn't look like it, okay? I am not seeing the major eyesores in town on Main Street being dealt with. I can't, I got problems, I can't see it coming out of the driveway coming out of Cottingham. There's Johnson grass hanging into the street, you can't see oncoming traffic, you come out of Douglas, you can't see oncoming traffic.
We still got grass and it's.
And that's what I'm saying, we need to see who he's sending his letters to, because I don't think he's choosing the most dangerous areas we have, which is oncoming traffic. And perhaps if we could review the letters, we could have these discussions.
Okay, management. Did, science test was.
Siren test is perfectly.
I get a chance to get with you, Johnny just.
Okay.
What's James' last name?
Smith, you've been around here forever.
With Thanksgiving, the guys are out on First, right in front of his house.
Next to me.
Thanks to, he was out there.
Well, now you know where his house is. Oh, the water.
Yeah, the guy that went out there on Thanksgiving,
I
yeah.
thought you would, never mind, I will not tell you what I thought.
No, I said, guys are. I said it correctly. That's all I'm saying. I said it correctly.
Okay, so,
But under that, we just had a couple of storms come through. Just woke everybody up, I think. Then had, we're gonna have a couple of electric outages, but that's about it.
what would you show that you're gonna be out
Uh,
in the county?
Yeah, more than likely tomorrow, they're talking about the next 2 days, of possibly really high fire danger and fire chief right now are trying to determine if they're gonna do basically an all-call whenever somebody gets called out, the closest two departments will automatically respond without call themselves. Kinda concerned about the highways and like you're headed in the next couple of days, so.
That's what they refer to as war days.
I wasn't gonna talk shop, but you know, that's such a good,
Yeah, that,
I was telling, we were talking earlier about Langston's had some issues, the last couple of weeks with a lot of wildfires that are somewhat concerned of how they're getting started, but, they've been quite as good over there in the last couple of weeks, so.
several acres in, but up pretty not nowhere very fast, because I got them mowed off Saturday.
Last week I think they lost about 30 acres on 50 acres one shot.
Yeah, that was on.
And the same area today got fired again, they lost much more hay bales, I haven't got the report yet.
That's,
Old 33,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, well, let's just move on.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add on here that, the grant from the OEM conference that Dusty was talking about last month, we got it, we're still waiting on the one from this year, but it's coming. And then,
yeah, I'm just gonna ask about that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's already been approved and it's put in the chip and chip. I'll add to that if I can, the three grants, FEMA claims that you had filed previously that we got the federal funding for, we now have the state funding on those, so those are in the process of being closed out.
Cool. Okay, how much was we get? Several thousand?
It's 600 and something, it was 1,400.
Okay, but you know, do you still have the documentation as to how to split the?
That was the state.
Was it on the flood or on the ice storm?
There was one for 3 different ones, so I'll have to look back and see which one was what.
Like I said, you may not have the flood,
I don't know.
but
I don't have information on.
I'll just holler at me, and I can figure the flood.
Either business. Motion done. Seven four.
No, I'll get, thank you.
You okay? Okay.
I was actually pretty quick on this one.
Okay. Call this board of trustees meeting Public Works Authority to order at 7:40. Roll call
Trustee King,
Here.
Trustee Hale,
Here.
Mayor Long.
here. Well, yes, again, you got 2 minutes to see if I want to say anything about what's put on the agenda. Yes, ma'am.
I just have a question. Oh, wrong one, never mind. Next one, sorry. Cancel that. Cancel.
Anybody else? Okay. Consider the
It took me a rescue here for a while ago. If I get up, it's because I cannot sit here any longer. My knees get hot and I have to walk.
Well, I just want to make sure.
Somebody knows more than.
Been there, done that, know what you're talking
Walk around there and get hit.
about.
Well, I was just worried about you.
That's why it's.
I could tell you were hurting.
Oh, boy, there's days.
That was all I got.
Yeah.
Got one of those right there.
Consent agenda.
I make a motion that we accept the consent agenda.
I said,
All in favor? Aye. Business agenda. Consider discussion, consider possible action for August 10th, 2023 meeting. October meeting. what I say.
We already did the others,
I think.
I told you, it's been a month already. Water report.
Meters were read, weekly and monthly water testing's been done. All the annual testing was done, and we've got our little back and everything looks good. We did attend a class at DEQ, they're going to be implementing a new sampling software, so we went and learned about that, last week.
Is that for us to maintain, or is it, now, I know right now you can go out on the DEQ website and see all of our results. Is it results reporting, or is it,
I don't know yet. I don't know a whole lot about it, because he's the one who went through the training.
well, I don't know if everybody realizes this, you can go out to the DEQ website and see all our water sample tests on a regular basis.
I think this is sort of a mapping of where our sampling sites are and things like that. Like I said, I haven't seen it, so I don't know a whole lot about it yet, but, yeah. We'll be working on getting that. Here pretty quick.
Okay, wastewater report.
Sorry, did I interrupt somebody?
Go ahead.
Okay.
I just,
He's continued to work on cleaning up the edges of the pond, and then he told me that he talked to, our representative for this area from the Rural Water Association about scheduling a sludge judge, and they'd probably be out here sometime in the next couple of weeks to do
Super,
that.
because we're gonna need that.
Yes, so that is in the works. Hopefully, within the next couple of weeks, we'll get them out here to do that.
Did he leave any information on the cost to get those check valves?
No, I don't think we heard back from anybody.
Okay.
I do know that he talked to me about he was looking into it, but I haven't heard, cost yet.
okay, that irrigation pump.
Well, we kinda got that on hold,
Yeah.
get the check valves put in place.
And he also has been in and out the last couple of weeks. His girlfriend and wife situation has been in and out of the hospital with some medical issues, so she's doing well from what I understand. So, but he's just for the figure, so that's way better than this time last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Not to-
That,
What is?
that- that's our smell, is that- That's our sound big time. All right, new business.
I am working on getting a big jump pickup schedule.
Good.
So, looking for the end of the month or the first month.
The Republic.
With, yes, with the weather.
Something's not on there, I guess I'll bring us under their business, not that it's consideration, but I think the board needs to be made aware of it. Is that we have been already having problems with the public and their pickups and missing several of our folks on their regular pickups. The communications that we've been able to get with them has not been near as it was before. A lot of the things that we discussed in contract negotiations and discussions is kind of starting to be an issue. I know that Wendy's reached out to him, is addressing the problem.
So you've been in contact with them.
We have a new municipal manager,
Another municipal manager.
Yeah.
so we're getting.
And a new driver.
Yeah, yeah.
That may be part of the issue, the new driver not getting used to the town.
They're probably not used to the law, he has to pick up.
He dumped my big one twice. The second time was empty. He just lost, getting his way around learning.
That may be part of the problem, but we're kind of having some issues with communications, and Will stood there in front of us and said, this will not be like it was before.
Well, is he even, Will still involved? Doesn't appear to be if they've got a new, was he the manager?
No, he's the general manager. The Jennifer who was there at the meeting, she was our municipal manager. She's not there any longer.
She's gone.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I could reach out to Will.
Will,
Yes,
Yeah.
that's,
I mean, that's the only choice you have.
Well, I did talk to our municipal manager, the new one, and she's the one who actually got what I needed done.
Oh, they did respond to you.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the length of time that it takes to get the responses done. In fact, we had a couple folks that for 2 weeks didn't get picked up and had to have a truck come out the next day to pick them up.
They didn't come back out.
Yeah, the problems that we were having before with sending out emails to customer service and not getting any kind of decent response or reaction. So,
Like I said, if it doesn't improve, I'd reach out.
no.
This week I think was better. I don't know of any that were missed. So it may have just been a transition between the drive. I don't know. But
Well, it's just, like I
We'll
said,
keep working on it.
Yeah, it
Well,
improves.
if it's a new driver, you don't know where you're going.
I could agree with you, but that doesn't change our
Well, as long as they-
agreement for
Right, and you need to
communication.
get back with us
Yeah.
as soon as possible,
Yeah.
whenever they get to it.
The Customer service coming back and saying, oh, sorry, we'll get you the next one. No, that's not how this works.
I don't learn from that. I mean, so, like, you know.
Well, nothing really for us to do on that one at this time. I just wanted to make sure that y'all were aware that this is the situation we're currently dealing with. And so hopefully,
Top of it.
yeah, yeah. Now, Lenny's doing.
Be sure to let us
Lenny's doing
know if they take a sweet time to get back with you. If they do, we need to make a phone call to them.
well, she and I had a
Well,
discussion.
well,
But
it's, you know, we, maybe it's a good thing we still have a year's contract.
Yeah, well,
We
that's
can just keep trying.
why I said this is exactly why we did a trial one as opposed to a full 5-year on it is,
Yeah, well, there's nothing, so.
that's part of my press. I didn't know that with it.
Motion, we go.
I make a motion.
All in favor? Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Last one here.
I slipped something in there, if you noticed, somebody actually reads these things.
Educational. Well, facility trustee Ford.
I think that's a good. Yeah.
Call to order at 7:49. Roll call.
Come on, guys, we're gonna get it one done in an hour here. Let's do this.
Trustee King,
Here.
Trustee Hale,
Here.
Mayor Long.
Here, voting yes, and now, if you have something to say.
Now I do.
You may,
Oh, and I'm supposed to stand up, right?
no, you don't have to stand up.
Oh, okay.
Anybody see over anybody?
So the second item, the discussion on reaching out to Michael Green
Yes.
on the audit.
Yes,
I understood from all that was coming out of the school that they had already had the audits done.
it's up, okay. This is the audit.
I do like with this one.
Yeah.
Just know you have fun with it. I sat there and listened to it too, and I'm in the same place.
Okay, so let me clarify that. And
Okay.
maybe that'll help you to answer and make
Okay.
it clear. The presentation that I heard was that they had to spend all this money on audits for the educational trust fund because the town didn't do what they were supposed to do, and they had to have the audits done.
I've never heard that.
It was in print, I read it.
I'd like, you have it?
I'd have to go back and see if I still have it.
I'd love to see it because I've never heard that.
Well, I've heard that, I just haven't seen it.
And I have heard no official channels come.
Well, that was my question, is why would, if in fact they did.
Well, they
do
can't,
that-
they can't. They don't have control of the books. We do. They're not authorized to
Okay, hold on a second, hold on a
engage an
second.
auditor.
If
We are.
if I may.
Yeah, it's that simple.
Well, now, it's not that simple as we learned recently, because there's 2 different bonds,
True.
apparently. There's the one that we are the trust and the authority of, and apparently there's a second bond that I wasn't aware, that I don't think any of us were
Well,
aware
there's
of.
always been, I wasn't either.
No, that's one
Okay,
I'm
now,
aware
okay,
of.
let's
I
start
think
there.
that second
Okay,
one
let
may
me-
be,
it's the second, okay.
no?
Well, if the statement was made, the town did not do what they were supposed to. So if the town had nothing to do with the second bond, why would
Then
they
that
make
wouldn't be the bond,
reference?
yeah.
Well, number one, whenever they say the town, that is erroneous. Okay? The only thing that the audit that is required by the statutes of Oklahoma regarding these bonds and the Coyle Educational Facilities Trust is not the town. It is a separate entity that shares the trustees, just like CPWA shares the trustees of the town. That's the only relationship. Due to that relationship, you have to, the town audit has to disclose, since it's the primary entity that formed the CPWA and formed this other authority. And since it has common control, all of that has to be disclosed in the town's audit.
Right.
Okay. If you remember, the town's audit said, I call it CEFA, Coyle Educational Facilities Authority.
I'm
Was noted.
with CEFA, that's.
You like
Yeah,
that?
let's do that.
Okay. It's noted it was unaudited. Okay. I have no idea where this rumor is coming from. I will tell you that the school issues bonds. Their audit includes the bonds that they have issued through their legal authority, which is small amount bonds.
Not the same as this bond?
Exactly. Strangely enough, not even Troy Cole knew.
Who is Troy?
She is Logan County clerk.
Yeah.
Because all the people who've been bombarding her office talk about bonds and this big bond issue that's going out, that they're voting for. We'll have to, and I have a blank right here, I don't know. When this bond issue, let's assume it's passed,
The one today?
yes.
Okay.
Then the school will have to contract with someone like CEPA. Because, and I'm not a lawyer, but I'll try to explain what I've been told, there are limits on the amount of bonds related to the valuation of the school district that the school can issue. And Jason's not here, he ran. I don't know if it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Oklahoma has a real weird set of statutes and et cetera. It's almost all constitutionalized. Someone sometime created a vehicle to allow schools like Coyle to issue a bond greater than their valuation allows for. And that's when CEPA was formed for this last 4.6.
In order to do that, it
In
has to
order-
fall under an authority.
At this authority. If you go out on the state auditor's website, you will see there's county authorities. They're all vehicles to issue bonds on behalf of the school or behalf of districts or behalf of, there's all kinds of authorities out there. That state law, like I said, I don't know when, why didn't they fix the law instead of doing a workaround? But they created, you
That's a
know.
legitimate question.
I mean, he's so linear in thought. So that's, the organization, the entity that has not been audited is the authority. Every time I went to Summerall, he kept telling me, the bonds are audited, they're in our audit. Well, I went there thinking I was just stupid, because anything I ever saw in the school audits were these 300,000, 500,000, this last one they issued was a 765,000, I guess.
So close to getting under an hour.
I'm sorry, but she deserves, everybody needs to know this.
Can I just ask a question
Yes,
right
please,
there?
yeah,
The one they just issued,
yeah.
you're saying has nothing to do with the 2011 bond that
Okay,
this
As far as
Going over.
SEPA's concerned, yes, as far as SEPA's concerned, no, it does not. This, someday, the sublease that rules, it's in our book, it's this thick. Jan needs to read it, you really do. I mean, I know it won't take that long, it's only about 15, 20 pages.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
Not this?
That section of it, that
That
section
section
of
is
it.
You said this and I need to read it.
Well, it's in a book like this. Actually, I've. scanned all of
Honestly,
the
that's,
books.
that book is really, there's a lot of good information in it, but at the same time, it's written by lawyers, for lawyers, to piss off lawyers, to make your head spin, and there's
you-
leases, subleases, there's different.
But the sublease should be paper, I've got a tab on it. I didn't bookmark all these different documents that are in that book, but or I could even email it to you because I paid to download it from Logan County rather than sit over here to try to Xerox out of a book like this.
That's
If
not-
you'd like me, I could send it to you. And the reason you want to see that is, so SEPA issued the bonds back in 2012. SEPA's over this lifespan that ended September the 1st, 2023, issued the bonds, paid the contractors, the Coyle School entered into this sublease, that's the lease purchase that you hear talking about. And this is what I don't understand. I do not understand why, and I don't want to say something, but the estimate of needs starting in 2012 should have had enough tax or estimated of needs to make these sublease payments using the sinking fund that can accumulate funds, because the bonds out of SEPA were only paid every 2 years. I don't know where the disconnect is because I haven't been able to get my hands on anything other than what's on the state auditor's website that only goes back to 2015. So starting in 2012, the estimate of needs should have had a third of, or half of that first sublease in it to collect the taxes. That's the only thing I can figure out, that they waited and didn't start raising the rates immediately, because we are now
No, on that.
on the
I
tax
can
rates.
interrupt.
Yeah, please.
You said that at the meeting Monday night,
Yeah,
that was part of it, it was back end heavy, they didn't start immediately with the tax rate, they
Exactly.
waited a couple of years,
very good.
and then
Good.
started on it.
So, today, as we sit here today, in June, SEPA has paid off all the bondholders. Actually, all of our bank accounts are zero. But when we paid that, or we, being SEPA, that November 1st final bond payment, the school issued bonds to put money in SEPA's account to make that payment. So how it got behind, literally $700 and some odd dollars, which is the amount of the bond that was issued in principal and interest. I don't know how that happened, but as you said, they're talking about being light on the back.
No, light on the front, heavy on the back.
Well, this is the back, present is back. Okay, you're talking about today.
Yeah, it's heavy this end, light on the front, yeah.
Yeah, okay, it's on the back. So there's literally, the school still owes for that last sublease payment.
And the school owes that?
Yes.
Or
Well, the taxpayers
the
do
taxpayers owe that?
owe that, because the estimate of needs is where the school gets its money to make those payments.
But, and that has nothing to do with the 2011 bond.
Well, it does. It's how they paid their final sublease payment.
Okay. But this trust has no oversight of that.
No, and that's why you need to read the sublease. If they literally signed away, you should have heard me when I first got into this. Who signed, I used to be in the building, who signed the contractor's bills? You know, how did these bills get paid? Who authorized these payments? That never went through the sublease will explain all of the authority that was transferred to the school. Now, I understand through our CPA that there should have been architect sign off, because the question that Colby Cagle asked me, since this is so far, and if there is a problem with the financials, as in lacking money, but it's not that kind of fraud, it's a financial audit, not a fraud audit. So I posed that question to Jack Roy, and he says there shouldn't be anything because the architect signed off on all of the bills. I guess it was percent of completion. I don't know, I've never seen the documents. But they should have errors and omissions insurance if something was wrong with the bill that was paid, because they signed off on it. That's how we got, we're still paying up, the school is still paying, it's the 2011 sublease payment that the school issued bonds to pay SEPA for
This June.
in this June. And so now the taxpayers are 3 years behind because they're showing it being, what, 10,000 interest only, and then 300 and something, and then another, da-da-da-da. So a 3-year payout, and they're hoping if the valuation continues to grow, they might be able to pay it off sooner than later. Okay. Does that make sense? Troy Cole did not know when she was talking to everybody that there were 2 sets of bonds. We were having this conversation, I called her for something else, and I said, she mentioned bonds, and I said, oh yeah, guess what I just found out? She said, I didn't know that. She said, well, I told people it wasn't right, but I didn't know. I said, I didn't know either. I keep screaming our bonds are paid off, and school keeps saying they got bonds, they still have to pay.
We found out they still got 3 years worth of bonds to pay off, when we just did that, we got the second bond.
Yeah, and like I said, when they told me that there was bond, that, the first thing I did, because I have access, that's how I get the information to put in our books, pulled bank statements, they were all zero. There's the payment going out to bondholders. I'm going nuts. What are you telling me? You've got bonds that you just issued in June for 2011. Not my 2011, they paid.
But it is your 2011.
It is the same bonds because they didn't have the money to pay the sublease that you used to pay off the bond. And as every time they do a sublease payment, I might as well tell everybody this. The title was supposed to pass.
The what?
Title to the building was supposed to, as we sit here today, the title of that gym is still in SEPA's name. Because every time they made a sublease and that title should have passed for that amount or for that part of, that document, the lawyers never drew up those documents. And we will be having to sign off. If they want title to the building, they can get the legal work done and get it in here and get it laid in front of our desk, as far as I'm concerned. The title does not pass. This whole thing has been crazy from the beginning. And this is why I still am very hesitant of accepting the responsibility of a 22-year bond obligation.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't they, before that bond passes, have to have had some vehicle to use?
Well, I think they don't enter into the contract until it passes, and then
But wouldn't you think they would wanna know what vehicle options they had?
We've been
Oh, yeah.
approached, we haven't said yes.
Not officially, not officially.
Not officially been approached, but that's one of the
The waters have been tested.
one's been tested. We still have our, how much, $14,800 that we clawed back, that the CFA's been paid for administrative fees, all of that stuff that we didn't know about, that we
Right.
drug out and screwed us up on our financials because we didn't know we had to move it, you know. When I got onto the bank statements out, I was looking at where all the money went. The school was paid $14,700 and close to $25. That our CPA firm said, why was the school paid? That should have come back to CFA. I said, I don't know. That's what the bank statement says the checks were cut to. So I get on the phone and I call Cody Cagle and I said, you just got $14,725 sent to the school. He said, I hope it's not to our trustee, which I don't know who the trustee is. I said, but I can't remember one, that's 9, so that's $29,500. And that's why I want to go out and get a fixed fee that meets the sublease. The school is on the hook for everything that we need for administration of CFA. And the audit is one of those. And our previous superintendent, when we approached them, you can tell them what you were told. Get your lawyer, Pound Sand, but by law, we have the right to issue a bill to the school.
For the difference of what you've collected on the audit.
So I'm happy to say that we're getting down to the $10,000–11,000 range, because Kobe understands that we're gonna be sick if we get this audit done, which we need to by state statute. I mean, the first conversation I had with him is that, you know, our CPA said we can go get a legal opinion. And I looked at him and I said, what lawyer worth his salt is gonna tell you it's okay to violate state statute? What CPA firm is gonna tell you it's okay to violate? They're gonna tell us to go get it audited, send the school bill. So rather than me spending money on a legal opinion, how about you guys figure out how we're going to get this done? Because you're gonna have to put the bill. And so, like I said, that's why I called him. I said, do not spend your money. We're almost there. We're down to about $11,000. If I can get this guy on record, he told Kobe one number, I've got him down lower. And if
Is this
we
the
can-
guy we used for
Yeah.
the,
and
our
see-
audit?
Yeah, and he's familiar with the books. He already has, well, in our books, I opened them up all the way back to 2012. And everything is in there. His audit's gonna consist of doing sampling, which Bank First has. Well, unfortunately, my contact at Bank First is retired. But Bank First should have all copies of the invoices. So it is a simple audit. Bank First should be able to provide them all the documentation that they were provided in order to release the checks to contractors, et cetera, et cetera. And it should be a very simple audit. But it's 12 years of paperwork. Does that help? Yes. Thank you. So, I did send Kobe a text and said, hey, we're discussing sending out, trying to obtain an engagement letter, and he just said his response was thank you. So he knows what the price is gonna be, he knows we're not spending $14,775. Because we're gonna come ask for it.
Okay.
So,
Anything else?
but, yeah, and I gotta remember to send you that, sublease. Now,
Business agenda.
I make a motion that we've already covered the additional facilities trust report.
okay, so, Would you approve me reaching out to Michael Green to get an engagement letter in here?
What would that be, the second item? Yeah, I'll second that motion. We gotta do that anyway.
Well, I was gonna make a motion. I'll make a motion.
All fair?
Aye.
Aye. So that will fix the fee and
I don't know about you, but half this stuff, just do it online. Of course, I'm not, I don't.
well,
But,
It's okay, Carl, you're not a geek.
I,
I think kids.
Sorry, Joanne.
no, I'm still struggling. I'm still struggling.
tape.
Does this board obligate the next board for the next 22 years to take responsibility for this bond whenever it has to get passed eventually? I always tell people, you know, I just need to get cheaper. So let's cross our fingers tonight. And, but then we have to decide. One of the thoughts are if we do start having a reliable, these people, I'll let you look them up on the state auditors, they do lots and lots of bond work as well as municipal work. So, you know, as long as they're around, they're gonna be knocking the door wanting us to pay for the audits, which might be the guardrails to make sure that it happens. I don't know.
Your
But I'll see
business.
that several.
Whichever it
Okay,
Hurry, you're in your time.
motion adjourned, motion adjourned,
Make a motion.
is. Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
8:14.
I'm glad you did that, because
14 minutes over an hour, that's pretty
what are these
good.
things, I'll look and see if I can find them.
That's good.
In my mind, I have it that it came from table.
Well, he was probably talking about his bonds, that, I don't know what he's talking about, I'd like to see.
I heard it.
I'll have to see if I can find it, but in my brain, it
Well-
came as one of those publications.
Yeah,
coming
well,
on-
there was a thing, it says 2011, there's a whole, the thing you hand out, but it's talking.
It was way at the beginning when
Oh,
all the.
before I ever got involved,
No, I meant, when Cable started promoting this bond, it was at the beginning of his, information coming out, is what I believe, but I'll go back and see if I
Well,
can
was
find
he
it.
confused too, like Summerall was? Summerall told me every time I talked to him, that they were being audited, and we didn't need to have an audit.
Yeah.
Next thing I know.
Government red tape.
I don't know, I'll go see if I can find it.
Because he kept saying they're included in the school's audit, included in the school's audit. I looked at the audits and I couldn't find our bonds, I couldn't find their bonds. I thought, oh, they're buying buses, I didn't know what they were. I was here in Brooks, I didn't know what they were doing.
So if this bond passes tonight, will it consume the 2011 ballot? So we still have two bonds.
It did not pass?
We don't know.
You didn't pass?
No, well, there we go again.
Well,
I got a
I
bad
hope they actually-
feeling. I knew it wasn't gonna pass, cause there ain't a farmer or rancher out there who's going, oh yeah, I'll take that.
I did.
A lot of people
I
vote.
did. My two sisters that couldn't even vote.
I'm not gonna talk to you, but it's out in the middle of the
No, they-
Lots and lots of land.
But they pay it more.
And they're looking at
than we
that.
were.
Diane Feinstein, senator from
This thing,
last Thursday.
so he's wearing their
Remember,
taxes.
sometimes that's vote Sunday.
No, sometimes she comes here, I know she passed the vote today, now she.
It would have,
Well, it may have been delayed, it may have been a little before that, but that
Yeah,
was,
because I was,
really put a lot more
I was listening.
information.
She
They
was.
did.
They wheeled
Cause
her
they didn't, there
in.
wasn't enough information.
She might be
They
like my
wouldn't even
dad.
have a town hall.
They had on Sunday, no, that
Hey,
morning.
everybody was saying, how much $6,000 house, but she signed all the documents. $5,000 per year for taxes. It's like, no, no one wants that. No, there's nobody disputing the fact that we do need to do. If I was gonna go out,
We had a meeting out there.
they had stuff that made me feel. Several days. Lord, I got a brand new gym. You'll miss nothing. They'll work on it again. They need to be smart. But a 10% interest loan on $30 million, that's $3 million a year. That's probably why it's doing it.
That's not
You
right.
can get the government back loans for a lot less interest. You wouldn't go get a loan and say, oh, that's good, you're killing it. You want like 2.9 or
The way that they
sure.
set the account will be helpful, but I
It'd be like paying double interest on a car loan. No, you don't want to do that. So that's why it didn't pass.
No, this is for processing.
They didn't put that, in all their information they put out,